Hello again, dear customers. How have you been? Have you tried out the Adventurer toy, by the way? Hey there, Charon. Actually, we've got some things you wanted to consult you about, and yeah, it's about the toy. Ah, happy coincidence then. I enjoy those, like a fortuitous opportunity to nap, or just happening to have enough more to buy what you'd like to. Ask away. I'd like to hear the story behind this toy. That's right, we've heard that you based this toy on someone. That's gotta be the adventurer who's the star of his tale, right? Haha, I see, so that's your question. Well, that adventurer did indeed leave a deep impression on me. I met an adventurer in Springvale when I was about to leave Mondstadt. It appeared that he had messed up some sort of meal delivery commission. Yeah, I know that feeling. Apparently he had encountered several waves of monsters on the way there, and not only had he missed the timing, but the food had also been bumped about. Knowing a thing or two about cooking, I helped him make a new serving. Well, that sure was nice of you. Well, but that's not all. You might find it hard to believe, but that one attempt at cooking resulted in all manner of accidents. The firewood got wet, a big hole got gouged in the bottom of the pot, and while I was plating up, I was hit by some flying stones from out of nowhere. One of them even bounced onto my head. Now that one really hurt. Well, the job did eventually get done, albeit with a complaint from the customer. They had cracked a tooth on a stone while eating. Ay, Verena above. Surely it wasn't the stone that hit us on the head. It could have been. Was this adventurer's name Bennett? Oh no, he hit spacebar. Later, he took me to all sorts of rarely visited places in Mondstadt to show his thanks. It was a pretty rough journey. Of course, I'm sure it very much was. But the uncommonly beautiful sights made it worth the effort. I would have taken him for a travel enthusiast had he not told me that he had discovered these places by losing his footing during adventures or from getting lost. On the day of my return to Fontaine, he came to say goodbye, and there I asked him if he considered his unlucky disposition bothersome. He just gave me a thumbs up and said, "The world is full of all sorts of people. Maybe I just happen to be the unluckiest." But thanks to that, I've also become the bravest person, and that's given me access to sights only I can see. What a brilliant way of putting things. Walking the path of misfortune with a big smile on one's face. Perhaps that's the spirit of a true adventurer. That's right, Bennett's the most adventurous adventurer for sure. If bad luck can be infectious, perhaps that adventuring spirit could be too, and with any luck, the latter can spread far further than the former. I wonder, will the story give you enough material for your report? How did you figure that one out this time? Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what we say in Fontaine. If you really wanted to know about the story, you'd have asked the first time, but since you're only doing that now, I could only guess that my brother put you up to it. So you really did know. You know, Papa doesn't get why Lever would have such a dim view of you. You're pretty smart, and you seem like a nice guy. It's anger, I think. He's probably still mad at me for what he sees as a betrayal. Betrayal? Our family is well known for our skills in making clockwork devices. I've always been good at making toys of that sort, and while my brother isn't quite as good, he's got a real knack for doing business. Since we both loved toys, we agreed that when we grew up, we would set up the best toy store ever. But it was only when we grew up that we realized that someone had to succeed the family business. That is to say, this shop. My brother had a big fight with our father over that, and he went to strike out on his own. I, on the other hand, was convinced to stay. And is that not a betrayal? Does that really count, though? Well, it wasn't a show of adventurousness, that was for sure. I was afraid that if I failed to make a name for myself out there, I'd have to come crawling back to the family business. I just couldn't take that pressure. I've always been like that. I'd be the first to cry when we encountered some hooligans on the streets, but my brother would have me get behind him with a "Don't worry, watch me send them flying with my knuckle sandwich." Your relationship seems kind of complicated. Well, I suppose it's how things played out, eh? In any case, I'll be here if you ever have any other questions. You're always welcome here at my store. Such a nice man. Honestly. You guys are idiots. I mean, you already knew that, but I'm telling you that again. Boss, our 2 guests have arrived. Quick as ever, I see. I suppose you gained much from your investigations? Huh. You know, Lever, why do you always show up later? Well, I suppose I am remiss. I shall strive to come earlier next time. Anyway, about that toy. You tell Lever about Bennett. He frowns. A toy based on an adventurer named Bennett? I see. And another thing, we didn't ask him, but Pavan thinks your brother didn't badmouth your shop. He doesn't look like the type. Oh, how so? He seems to be sorry about something concerning you. You pass Caroline's words on. Livida's gaze passes through you to what seems to be a place in the indeterminate distance, like a camera adjusting its focus. After a while, a dissatisfied noise struggles its way out of his chest. If you ask me, I don't think that idiot would do something like that either. Wait, so what was this whole contingency thing about? Boss was just looking for an excuse, I suppose. More likely than not, I say. Well, he is a businessman. Businessmen have reputations to consider. And he's the big brother, is he not? Big brother's got a name to uphold, you know. Say no anymore or you'll eat my knuckle sandwich. He was exactly as Charon said he'd be. Like, well, dear guests, I was just thinking that I should go pay that idiot a visit. Whoa, are you going to put your differences aside and go ask him for advice then? Of course not. But if he thinks he's betrayed me and feels bad about that, shouldn't I give him the opportunity to apologize to my face? I don't yet. I don't really yet think that it's something that you should apologize for. That's just life. If anything, you betrayed him by not following in the family business, as was perhaps expected of the elder, despite what your plans were. He did say that, but Pama doesn't think that that's the sort of betrayal someone needs to apologize for. Well, it's decided. Arbo, there's no need for any further pre-orders. Return all deposits as needed and keep that evaluation board. Wait, what? What, boss? So we're not executing the plan anymore. What about the data collection? There's still time to make adjustments. No, the data collection continues. I have other plans for that. And you've got payments to collect, don't you? I always do honest business. Suspiciously honest in this case. The boss is the boss, even when he's being stubborn. I wouldn't call his attitude toward toys completely worthless. I'll pay a visit to Lepal's Hologari. Hologari? I really can't pronounce these French words. Once the next 2 days of data collection are complete, I'd like you two to come back too, good customers. I've got some other things to settle here in the shop, so if you'll excuse me. Leo's got such an odd temper. He's not really going to ask for an apology, is he? Well, would you look at that? Our third party has brought about an opportunity for change once again. Third party? That's the two of you, of course. Thanks to you, the differences between the two shop owners may yet be resolved. That's what happened previously too. Previously? Hey, have you noticed how this shop is separated from Laporte Hologari by the Northland Bank? Yes, I had noticed. Boss originally wanted to set up shop next to Laporte Hologari to compete with them directly. Now I doubt that they knew about Boss's history when they reserved that space, but in some way, they became a mediator in the conflict, didn't they? That's super interesting. The Fatui love to meddle in other people's business, but this sort of meddling's a first for sure. And that's the importance of third parties, just like how a double act still needs an audience. Well, what about solo works? I feel like we're really talking about nothing, but sure. Would things work with just one actor and one audience? Wait, are you trying to betray me too? You better watch out for my knuckle sandwich then. An armistice. Wait until 2 days later. Well, I'm going to move because it's probably going to trigger there. 2 days? That's a long time to wait. I can't wait 2 days. Actually, that technically is the day after tomorrow. Just. I really wish there was a quicker way. I don't need to see the sun and the moon moving. Honestly. Just skip my time. You know, today's supposed to be the day that Leva's gonna go pay Carlin a visit, and that's all I caught. Oh, is it not auto-tracking the quest?
Come on, enough procrastinating. Let's go.
I'm doing no procrastinating whatsoever. Thank you, Hushing. I see you're doing well, Charon. Brother, what are you doing here? We haven't seen each other in so long, and that's what you chose to say? I just didn't expect you to come over to see me. I mean, our shops are quite close together, but you never came over. I thought you were still angry with me. I'm not here to talk to you about what happened before. I'm just going to ask you this. That adventurer toy was made because of me, right? And you wouldn't be able to hide anything from you. Wait, now I'm confused. Wasn't that toy inspired by Bennett? I see you two have arrived as well. I'm sorry for not explaining previously, but I didn't know where to begin. Although that adventurer did give me critical inspiration, my brother was the real reason I insisted on having the toy made. I can see why it might be complicated for you. I don't really get what was so difficult about all this. That's on my brother for twisting himself about into loops over everything. You haven't changed either, brother. I'm more and more convinced that you and that adventurer are the same type of person. I don't have a vision, nor am I an adventurer. But you have that same adventurous spirit. Bennett lives in an adventure, while you live for adventure. Did you pick that flattery up from me too? How can that be? You've never been a flatterer. You've never hesitated to tell me that I haven't any fighting spirit. And while the truth is frustrating, it is the truth nonetheless. You've always been trying to be the best toy merchant ever, but I acceded to the family's arrangements, continuing the cycle of clockmaking. Only people like you and Bennett could turn their passions into their profession. I cannot. It would take 100 of me to match your courage. Come on, don't say that about yourself. There's no point in hiding this. When my brother first stated his intentions to move his shop next to mine, my first reaction was to consider moving the shop. Father would be ashamed, and rightly so. But in the end, the Northland Bank took that spot and separated us. A happy coincidence again, you could say. Yeah, Albon told us about that. Do you really think that the world is so full of happy coincidences? That the Northland Bank just so happened to come between us at that time? What do you mean, Liver? I had reserved that spot long ago, but a new idea struck me, and so I transferred it to them for a low price. This didn't just come out of nowhere, you know. So you were the one who got them involved. Ha! Did you think that your previous decision was too impulsive or something? Ever since I left, my goal has always been to be the greatest toy merchant. But what sort of greatness would that be if the family feud made my brother move away in the process, huh? Heh. That smells like concern to Paimon. You were just making excuses when you said you wanted Charon to apologize, weren't you? Apologize? What apologize? Did I ever say that? Yes, you did actually. Wow, that's a really earnest denial, especially, considering that you actually did say it. I'm here to congratulate you, Charon. That toy is quite well made. It's been such a long time since I last heard a word of praise from you, brother. I didn't think that. I've also brought you a gift. Here's the data I had these two adventurers gather over the last few days. This should help you create something even more interesting. Huh? But weren't you going to make toy champion duelists? That data's important to you, isn't it? That plan's suspended. The market shifted faster than I thought, so some ad hoc adjustments will be necessary. But this data, how could I just take it? You take it when I give it to you, obviously. In that case, I'll take it, for safekeeping. Feel free to reclaim it, should you ever feel needed again. So Lever's other plan was to give the data to his brother. I apologize, dear customers, that I did not ask for your suggestions first before doing this. Oh, it's fine. You paid us, didn't you? And this is your personal matter. This was totally worth it if your relationship with your brother could be improved. Right, Lunara? Our thoughts are enlightened this indeed. We're honest businessmen too. Hehe. Guess this was a successful third-party intervention. Alright, Livra, Caron, since we're all here, why don't you strike while the iron's hot and work together on something? You're good at making stuff, Caron, and we can have Livra do the advertising. If you do it as a team, it's sure to work out. I appreciate your good intentions, but there's no need. I feel the same way. Wait, so this is what you two are going to agree on? That Bennett fellow said this too, didn't he? The world is full of all sorts of people. So you did remember that part. The world is full of all sorts of people, and they all have their sides that only they can see. If I learned anything from him at all, this would be it. Charon and I are just different people, which is why we're set out on different paths. Perhaps he thinks that my path is too adventurous, and I, for my part, can't stand the kind of placid existence he leads. That's right. If the hour hand does the minute hand's work, it will get fired without compensation the next day. And while intense challenges are an adventure, is a simple life not one as well? Everyone's on their own journey of adventure. So, since we've each chosen our direction, let's walk down that path and seek our own unique sights. And I'll occasionally go meet with you. After all, your road will be quite difficult. Don't you worry about me. At least I know how to enlist third parties to help me out of jams. I didn't sit around waiting for these adventurers at the Northland Bank, let me tell you that. And what will you do when there's a problem that even a third party can't solve? I'm sure you know how the stiffer a gear is, the less durable it will be. I worry that. And if we meet, we'll meet. What else can we do, huh? That's just life. No, you won't be defeated by life, just like Bennett. And if things prove otherwise, yeah? I'll send you flying with a knuckle sandwich. Ha! Brat, listen to yourself. Talking to your big brother like that. Don't get too cocky. Well, if Lady Farina can sit at the judge's desk for a while, then a little brother can borrow his big brother's lines, right? Oh, that was a great analogy. I see you figuring us Fontanians out. I'd like to ask you something, so if you're free, let's meet outside my shop later. That's all I have to say today, Charon. I'll be heading back now. This is definitely not my favorite event. I don't find the story or the tension completely engaging. Yeah, well, you seem to be in a good mood. Thanks to your help. Speaking of which, Charon's trip to Mondstadt gave me an idea. Perhaps I should go travel around for a bit and find some inspiration for toys myself. You've traveled the world. You probably know some friends like that Bennett. Do you have any suggestions for me, or why don't you go and meet Bennett yourself? Well, we do have a lot of friends, but when it comes to toy inspiration, that might be a bit tough. Why not look for a third party? We're a valid third party, aren't we? Aren't you referring to the Northland Bank? Oh, you meant the previous third party. Oh, let Palmer think. The Northland Bank's under the Fatui, and the Fatui under... Are you referring to a Harbinger? Do you mean that we can make a toy themed after a Harbinger? Huh, Lunara, do you mean... Oh, Palmer gets it. Heh. Leva, did you know that there's a very special Harbinger, whom they call the greatest toy salesman Snatchnaya? I wondered if she was going to go there. What? Is there such a person? Of course, and he's a real expert too. Maybe he'll inspire you. And you know, a toy merchant and a seller would make a pretty awesome combo, don't you think? Thanks for your suggestions. They've been very helpful. I don't think it'd be easy to get in contact with a Harbinger, but I do have some connections at the Northland Bank. I'll see what I can do. Heh. Don't forget to invite us to try whatever new toy you come up with. I will. Keep an ear out for news from me. Is that really going to be an ongoing thing, or was he just being facetious? I can't quite tell. Right, so. What? Okay. So, aqueous tide marks. Oh, that's that one that I have to do? Okay. I guess we're going to just do this world quest instead. The one I was so devoutly ignoring because I was trying to get through the Archon and event quests. But there you have it. Hello. Virgil. I must say, the weather today is simply wonderful. You're quite the beautiful young lady. Virgil, at your service. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. Lunara, at your service. A pleasure. Paimon's Paimon, and is at your service too. Such elegant names. Welcome to the court of Fontaine. It is truly an honor to meet the two of you here. Paimon can't stand much more of this. How did you know we're not from Fontaine? With a glance, it's so obvious that you're uncivil. Oh my. Is that really what he wants to say? How about a knuckle sandwich? Since they seem to be on the agenda. That you're unsatisfied with being bathed in the soft lights of the city, but feel the call of the wild, which will never be illuminated by bright city lights. Yes, just like the heroes in the operas. Yeah, that's totally true. Lunara is an adventurer too, at Astra Abyssosk and all that jazz. Heh, knew it. Those of the Adventurers Guild are beggarly. Beggarly? Courageous warriors, begging with all their heart. You got warriors plural, so shouldn't hearts be plural? Oh well. To unlock the deepest mysteries of the world, they wake with their eyes to the stars above and sleep with their back to the abyss below. Where there is an unknown domain, there is an adventurer who simply must explore it, bravery bursting beyond the brim. I couldn't help but notice how your gaze is focused on many things. Perhaps you wish to study our sublime arts, our intricate clockwork mecca, or our advanced civic culture. How about none of the above? Meh, it's okay, I guess. He's not going to like that. Sorry, I should have read that. The decorations adorning your city are sublime, or something like that. Amazing. Paimon didn't even notice the decorations, but Paimon did notice that Fontaine has a ton of delicious foods that she's never seen anywhere else. Not bad, isn't it? We have a long and glorious tradition of gourmet culture in Fontaine. Naturally, the two of you must often take your meals in the great outdoors, and thus are unfortunately limited in your ability to sample the breadth of Fontaine's superb cuisine. Unable to experience the luxurious richness that is leisurely afternoon tea with a few pastries. You don't look that rich. I've had more of a chance to sample cuisine than you think. I'm listening. Most excellent. My two exceptional friends, have you heard of the Lilia Cruz's treasure? Nope, haven't heard of it. Then please, allow me to explain. This is a legend of a lost treasure that has been passed down in Fontaine for centuries. Once, there was a secret society called Lilia Cruz's Forum that was able to attract a great many of the rich and influential. Though they humbly called themselves a forum, their actual plan was to overthrow Fontaine itself. In the end, their conspiracy was exposed, and the I don't know what he's trying to say there. But anyway, the distinguished members of the Forum engaged in a thrilling battle with the Maison Gardiennage, but were ultimately defeated in the climactic showdown. However, my dear friends, you must know that they were once the richest and most famous of all Fontaine, and they must have gathered a tremendous amount of wealth. Yeah, they definitely did. And they must have a huge treasure vault somewhere. And when you open it, wow! It's overflowing with nothing but gold, shining like the sun. Correct! They wish to overthrow our beautiful Fontaine, and to do so, they must have amassed a fortune so vast that they could literally be said to have more money than Morax. However, this wealth was never found. Hee. So that means that as long as we can find the Lilia Cruz's treasure, we'll also be filthy rich. Paimon, we're already filthy rich. There are millions upon millions of more in my bag of holding. Excellent deduction, my dear Paimon. With that fortune and control of Anyway, after a lengthy investigation, I have discovered the location of the Lilia Cruz's Forum's headquarters. It can be found amidst the underwater ruins outside the city. Really? What do you think? My dear Paimon, Lunara, I hereby sincerely extend an invitation to both of you to become my partners and dive beneath the waves to search for the lost treasure. Even though Fontaine's water is different from elsewhere, Paimon can never forget how she was drowning before being rescued by you. That's why you never go into the water and I do all the swimming. Never fear, I am here. Yeah, you'll save Paimon again for sure. If that's settled, please allow me to prepare diving equipment for the two of you. I should have the correct sizes. There's no need. Ah, yes, I remember. Vision holders may dive freely in their waters. But if it's you, dear Lunara. Of course, I do not doubt your abilities. Lunara is a famed adventurer, and she must be very aware of her limits. How does he know I'm a famed adventurer? But it just so happens that I do not share the same capabilities, so I will have to rely on a homegrown technology to keep myself alive. Oh, you're coming with, are you? I misunderstood. I thought I was going by myself. Be that as it may, shall we begin? Yes, please lead the way. Your wish is my command. Please, follow me. Our destination is not far from the court of Fontaine. You arrive with Virgil at a place that seems a bit deserted. Virgil's wearing diving gear, something. Wow, it looks so heavy and so hot and stuffy. Actually, you can place mist flowers wrapped in cloth inside to lower the temperature. As for the weight, well, just put it underwater. There's no time for delay. Let's go, my friends. Have I accidentally gone into a domain? No. Okay, we're fine. Ah, okay, I don't need to follow him. Please take extra care in your investigation, you two. The nearby water bodies may contain valuable resources and clues left from something. Search for and collect clues. That's vague. Cutting, I really don't know how you're swimming in those shoes. And surely those are wet tights? Cannot feel comfortable at all. You look very uncomfortable if I do say so myself. Maybe that's just me. You look super uncomfortable. But hey, you blend in nicely with the terrain. I'm all for it. I like your dolphin kick as well. Your dolphin kick was really cute. Look at that! A dolphin kick, so cute. I don't remember how the traveler swam, but that was adorable. Anyway, this is a clue. Information and clues regarding the forum. Something like this then? Absolutely. Maybe. Most definitely. Which is it, sir? We're gonna go through here. Get some free heals. And keep going. Here. Wow, it's absolutely soaked. Do we really need to collect these things? Even that which is soaked, rotten, has the value of something. Oh my word, I missed it. Is this spontaneous culture too? I was going to say, the interact button sounds really interesting underwater. It actually, the sound effects in the game run differently underwater. I think that's a great attention to detail. Listen to this as I click on it. See, it sounds different and more echoey. I love it. That's so cool. I love attention to detail like that. Sound design is actually pretty important to me in games. I'm not going to lie. There seems to be space down below. Yeah, like I comment a lot on like the music that is played in games, but I don't know that if I really mention much the other sound effects that are played in games. That is fucking gorgeous. Sunken Glory. Wow, I love that angle. Yeah, it doesn't look quite as cool on my angle. But yeah, sound design in games is very important to me. Please, wait, you're going too fast. I suppose you aren't run-of-the-mill travelers after all. Huh, I didn't think there'd be an underwater ruin like this. Behold, the ruins of Lilia Crucis Forum! I mean, how do you know that, bro? Well, it's become a sanctuary for all kinds of aquatic life now. Oh, right, Lunara, it's time to try that. What's that? What's that? After absorbing the xenochromatic Hunter's Rays abilities, you can unleash Fontaine water blades. Excuse me, I'm required to kill you. I apologize. What am I doing with these? I don't know. It said to grab them, so I've grabbed them. I don't know where we're using them exactly. Oh, on these puzzles that I never worked out. Never figured out how they work. Yeah, that's great. Wait, and I'm supposed to kill these other stingrays with this ability? Well, this is going to go well. Yeah, I never figured out how to use this ability. I gave up after my first attempt. It didn't work out so well. So I was like, yeah, maybe not. Because this one's unrelated, but... Oops. Works there. Why does it not work last time I tried this? Weird. Seems to be working just fine. Was it broken last time I tried to use it? To think that the key would be here. Ancient key. Have you been here before, Virgil? Not long ago, my dear Paimon, my companions and I were stopped dead in front of the gate ahead. Oh, that's good. Ah, bro, I'm trying to read. Rude. That's what you get for being a douche nozzle. And you've got to go just because I need the treasure. Thanks. Anyway, I was heading over here. Oh, was it too far away? Entirely possible. Oh, wrong button. There we go. I was like, it doesn't sound right. Look at the schools of fishies. Oh, whoopsies. Whoopsies. I thought that the things just chilled down here. Apparently not. Whoops. Anything else down here that I should be concerned about? I can't get lower. There we go. Ah, missed it. 100 more? God, it sounds like worth it, is it? Oh well. Not even like I need the Mora. Up, down. Can never tell where I'm supposed to go for this thing. Oh, Clutching is so cute when she swims. She's so freaking adorable. Anyway, I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything I've missed. So, through the cluster F we go. I think I'm a little too far away. Oh, no, it does seem to work. Tufa! Yay! Look at this place! Isn't it neat? I like the seaweed and the ruins and the cavern. Everything about this is cool except for the discombobulating angle that it's on. That's really gonna do my head in. Proceed deeper. That is my actual quest. Proceed deeper. I think I hit the other fish accidentally. Nope, never mind. It doesn't take hydro damage. Excuse me, little crab. I must murder you. Thank you. Ow. Well, you seem to respawn with alarming frequency. Or rapidity. Rapidness? What is this? Open with ancient key.